everyone, I'm Shooting Cat. So thank you for 10 subscribers. I reached my mini goal. Thank you for your support, guys. Anyways, so today we're doing a part 2 on how to make the decorations and background effects from my level called Blue Underground. If you haven't seen the last part, I'll leave the video link in the description. Anyways, let's get started. So I'm gonna just create a little level out of all those decorations and background effects because some people gave feedback to my video. So I'm gonna try to do my best. So we're gonna make a little level. So you've seen the decoration, let me show you how to do it. First we will set the background to blank. Ground will be the same, then ground will be black. Also the line. And then make the background somewhere like this dark blue. Or maybe a little bit darker. Somewhere like this. Then select mode to ship. And then you can just choose any song, but I'm just gonna use this one. So let me just turn on audio a bit. Yeah, my game crashed. I accidentally went out of Geometry Dash to another tab and then it crashed my recording. But I'm back. So choose any song, then choose the offset to anything that you want. I'll just choose this. Alright. Remember, blank background, then make it dark blue. Somewhere like this. Then ground to black and also the line. Alright, we're back on track. So, to do the decoration, you will just make a little layout of these objects. So I'm gonna make a layout now. Alright, something like this. I can also make it a bit slower, the whole gameplay. Now select all of these objects and choose color channel 2. Actually copy paste the color from the background and then paste it right here. And then make it a little bit brighter somewhere like this. And it should... Wait, why didn't it work? Oh, I forgot to do this. Yeah, and then it should look like this. Now I'm gonna go to the next layer so I don't ruin these. So now choose color channel 3, then choose somewhere like blue, and then fill the spaces where needed. I'm gonna show you how. Okay, we're done with the straight lines, but now the corners. And then use these like little piece corners, yes. I don't know how to call them. And then it should look like this. Now select all the objects again, but we're not gonna color them again, but we're gonna remove this or just uncheck the glow box. What it basically does is disables the glow from the objects. So let me show you. This is with glow and this is without glow. It makes it look more modern. Now go to layers all, select everything, then edit group, don't fade, which basically makes objects don't disappear at the corners, well, at the sides, if you know this, and just remove glow again. Now we're gonna go to layer 2, then we're gonna go to 3D objects, choose this one, then assign to color channel 4, make it black, and then opacity 0.15, somewhere like this, and then fill the spaces where needed. And then it should look like this. Now go to the third layer, and then choose the widest gradient objects. Now go to color channel 5, copy color of channel 2, then make saturation 0.6, and then brightness all the way up. and then make it blending. Wait, actually blending is a bad idea. Oh wait, and also opacity 0.4, I forgot. Now fill the spaces where needed. And then it should look like this, as you can see. Now it adds more like glow to the objects, well, the whole decoration. Go back to the gradient layer, then choose this color. No, actually go to color channel 6, choose make it black, and then opacity 0.05 to add a little bit more shadowiness to the objects. It doesn't add much, but at least something. Alright, now the whole decoration part. So go to layer 4, just a new layer, then go to the object section, and then choose these small pipe lines. I really don't know how to call them, but you know, so should be like this, and then you should do something like this. Place the object so like at the sides of each object, and also remove all the unnecessary objects, and then it should look like this. And now the final part, the crosses. Go here, yes, choose this X, and then what I just do is usually go to edit, scale it to 0.5 and copy paste, and then scale it back to its original scale, which is 1, and then just do this. It should look like this now, and then I'm gonna select the whole thing, or you can just select one object, go to delete, and then use custom mode right here, and then it will just select all the... Wait, why didn't it work? Custom, and then select all the crosses, but yeah, who cares? So then select color like blue, or color channel 3, and now it should look like this. And remember, once you're done, select all, edit group, don't fade, and then no glow. And also I forgot that these were here, so I'm gonna delete them. And now it should look like this. Beautiful. Now the background effect. So there are 3 parts in the background. The first is the checkerboard. So I'm gonna go to layer 3, and then go to 3D objects, and then choose these ones, which are basically lines. Then gonna make a little line of them, and it should look like this. Then I select the whole thing, select light background color, and then rotate it by 45 degrees. Then I'm gonna select a group. So group 1, then B4 layer, which basically makes it like behind the objects rather than inside them or be on the foreground. Then don't fade, and now just copy, paste them, and move it by 2 blocks to the left. Have some objects right here which are unnecessary, but so I'm gonna just remove this. Then I'm gonna select this line right here. Then make sure you don't select from this line. Alright, here we go. Then do the same thing, but to the right. So copy, paste, and then move it by 2 blocks to the right. There we go. Now rotate it by 90 degrees or 2 times by 45 degrees to the right. And then do the same thing but to the left. And then it's gonna start to make the checkerboard. And really good, add speed. Alright, Here we go. So we have the grid now, but I also added movement to the whole grid as well. So select the whole thing, then make it group if you haven't done that. Then I'm gonna go to alpha. This is what I'm gonna do at the start. Alpha triggers basically make objects more transparent or more visible. So choose the specific group ID that you have for your objects or for the whole checkerboard. In my case, it is group 1, so copy the group ID 1. Fade time basically shows you how long does it take for the object to be transparent or visible. So I'm gonna just do fade time 0 and opacity 0 at the start. And if you just move it all the way to the side of the level, then it's gonna make the object transparent instantly. And I'm gonna add another alpha trigger, use the same group ID, and then fade time 0.5 and opacity 1. And then it should look like this. Now we need some movement to it. So grab the move trigger, then copy the group ID that we have for our checkerboard, in my case 1. And now this is a little process here. So on mobile I usually did this. So basically 999 and then move time about 250. Which basically means it's gonna move the whole thing to the right because it's move X, and if the number is positive, then it's gonna move to the right. If it was negative, for example, something like this, then it will go to the left. But in my case, I need to go to the right. And this basically shows you how long does it take for the object to get to its destination. But I don't know how many blocks are there. 999 blocks to the right and like 0.9 more. And then it should look like this. But I'm actually gonna move the alpha trigger somewhere. No, maybe actually the move trigger a little bit further away from the alpha trigger. And now it's gonna look a little bit more better. So we don't see the gap on the left. Well, we still saw the gap on the left, so I'm gonna move this move trigger again. And then you shouldn't see the gap on the left. And now it should look like this. Now the second part, the arrows. Really can't remember how I did the arrows, but I'll show you the concept of how I did it. So basically use wedge objects, then make arrows of them. So it should look like this. Now I'm gonna move it all the way to the left. Now I'm gonna add a group to it, group ID 2, then be free this time, because we don't want it behind the grid, or checkerboard, however you call it, and then don't fade. Then choose color like blue, and then move it by 5 blocks to the right, and then choose dark blue. Then select all of this, then move them by 10 blocks, and then if you have the check mark right here, don't fade, then that means the whole thing is not gonna fade on the sides. Now we're gonna add again the alpha triggers, and we can see the little shadows from them. Then alpha trigger on the whole start, then group ID 2 this time, because this is what these objects group ID is, as you can see. Then we're gonna make it transparent at the start, then place another alpha trigger right here, group ID 2, and then just leave it as it should be. Then move trigger right here, then move X 9999, but this time I'm gonna do 220. to make it go a little bit faster to the right and look slower on our screen. And target group ID too. And now it should look like this. Beautiful. Now the third part is the lines, which you will usually see on the arrows. Really can't remember how I did that, but I know that I used these 3D objects right here. Then make a big line out of these once again. Then select the whole thing. Then I added new color channel 7, copy color background, and then don't change anything else. Then we're gonna add it to B3, and then copy paste and move it down by 1 block, and then should make like a line grid, something like this. Then we're gonna move it to the middle. In our case it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1. Yeah. Now we're gonna add them to a group once again. So group ID 3. Remember, don't fade. Now we're not gonna add the alpha trigger, but what we're gonna do is add a move trigger, lock to player X, which basically means it's gonna lock to the player when it moves horizontally. If I did on lock to player Y, it's gonna lock to the player's vertical movement. I'm gonna show you how it is. So lock to player Y, then target group ID 3, and then move time will be about 30 seconds. We don't want to do the 200 seconds again, because this time it's gonna show us how long should the object stay with you throughout the level. So this is when it's locked to Y. As you can see, the lines are moving up and down. If I do lock to player X, then it's gonna just stay still. Like this. Alright, so we're done with the arrows now. Now for the last thing. Wait, no, almost the last thing. The shading. It makes everything look more real. So, as you remember from the video about how I make the gradient effect, so basically make a grid out of these gradient objects. Then I'm gonna replicate the grid with these objects now without including the first gradient object, which is gonna be like the start. Now, move inside a bit, copy paste, move it down, copy paste, move down, and repeat the whole process until you don't see this gradient object after the final copy, paste, and movement. Like this. Remove all the unnecessary objects. I really can't, like, pronounce it correctly. I don't know what's wrong with me. So, now move it, like, here. Then copy paste, and then it should be like this. Then choose color 0.05, and then it makes a shadow like this. And I'm gonna show you, go to the main menu, then press this yellow cogwheel, and then enable link controls. It will link all the objects together. So let me show you. This is what without link looks like. You will usually select one specific object, but when you press this chain and when you try to select, it's gonna select the whole thing. So rotate it around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, align it as it should be, then move it a little bit more up, and then go to color channel 8, copy color background, then blending, opacity 0.40 or 0.20. Let's try 0.20. Then drag this whole the way up, and then saturation about 0.8. And it should look like this. And let's move it a little bit more down. And now it should look like this. Oh, I forgot. I forgot a lot of things. Wait, let me be right back. I forgot a lot of things. So remember, select all, then choose a group to them. 4, then T3 layer, which is going to be on the foreground, and the whole player will be also behind the whole shading. Don't fade. And then choose alpha, then choose the group 4 ID and make it transparent at the start. Don't copy, but do this, and then choose movement and do the same thing. Lock player to X 30, and then the group ID that we have on our objects. And now it should look like this. Oh, it's a little bit offset. Wait, let's try somewhere like this, and then also the same thing with lines. Alright, now it should be fine. Wait, it isn't fine. Wait. I think I didn't make it wide enough. So let me just unchain this whole thing. Then select 2 rows. Well, 2 columns of this. Expand it a bit. And then chain it once again. And then it should be fine. Now it looks good. Now this is the blue underground vibes. Pretty cool, right? And also I forgot to do one more thing. Add freaking objects right here. So basically I'm gonna select these objects, I don't care. I'm gonna add into a new group, which is group 5. I'm gonna add the objects right here. Then go select alpha trigger. Then make the group ID 5 transparent the whole way. And now it's gonna kill the player when it goes somewhere inside here. And now here's your level. The blue underground decoration and background effect from the ship art. So that's basically it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and also subscribe to my channel, and see you in another tutorial of part 3. See ya!